joining us now to chat a little bit about the impending summer of cricket that's going to be absolutely huge from the Grade Cricketer podcast, none other than Sam Perry. Welcome to the Run Home, mate. How are you?
Hi, Barney. Hi, Brian.
Hello, Sam. Very formal today.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to be formal, I saw your interview with the great Patrick Cummins. That was an absolute beauty. I understand that this is where you asked him about David Warner returning. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I should take credit for it, but I won't. It was my co-host, Higgos, who just invited Cummo. We call him by his nickname, not that he's invited us to do that. He asked Cummo to stare down the barrel of the camera and just give a message to David Warner, who, at that point had kind of teased people around a possible comeback, half said it jokingly, but was half serious. And Cummo just stared down the barrel and said, good luck with the Thunder this year, and I look forward to your comments on Fox. So very happy to play a role in public to clear it up and just help mediate that conversation.
Sammy, do you think Dave Warner was fair dinkum, or was it Fox Cricket just sort of trying to
get a bit of publicity out there?
Or do you honestly believe? Do you honestly believe he wanted to open?
I don't know him well enough, to be honest. What I do know is that, in life sometimes, when you do want something, you can cloud it in a little bit of a joke to protect yourself in case you get rejected. I mean, for people who do deal in comedy and humour, it's a coping mechanism. Yeah. It's a higher order emotional coping mechanism. So you do know it when you see it. I got the impression when Cummo was talking to us that there was a hint of seriousness to it, but Warner is too smart and too savvy to leave a trail like that. So he's able to say, I was just joking. Not that you're ever as a bloke or as a human meant to divulge what's said in DMs, but we felt obligated at the Grade Cricketer to offer David a right of reply. I don't know why I'm calling everyone by their first names, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Samuel, I'm all over this. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm in question time, Mr. Speaker. But anyway, we offered David a right of reply, and I can honestly say of the thousands of interview requests we've made, no one's ever told us to jog on champ before.
So he's a listener.
I suspect it touched a nerve that he was taken down a bit, but that's just my impression. He may be playing 4D chess. He may be promoting Fox's coverage beautifully, and if so, well done, David Warner.
Dave Warner, does he strike you as a chess player or more of a checkers guy?
Look.
Why don't we DM him to find out?
Yeah, Uno for me. I would say, yeah.
Mate, the access you blokes have got at the moment is absolutely phenomenal. So, for listeners that aren't aware of the podcast, how long have you guys been going? And talk through some of the guests you've had recently, because you're basically my insight into the Australian cricket setup at this point.
Oh, that's kind of me to say, mate. We got it, the whole thing started 12 years ago on Twitter, where I was just working at a corporate job and hated it, so just did tweets as a pretend grade cricketer. But a couple of years later, started a podcast. Won't bore you with it. It's been going for about 5 or 6 years, and it's just started small. We played a lot of grade cricket, so had a few connections, and it's just one of those things where you some people give you help at the start, and you ask them for introductions to other people, and I just think that a lot of players feel like it's a good forum to show their personality a little bit and show people that they have levels to them beyond probably what they have to say when they're wearing an internationally issued polo shirt with media lines that they're given. So we just offer that opportunity, and we're really grateful that people take it up and come and sit down and have a chat. I think they just feel safe. You lull them into a false sense of security and get them to say something that becomes a news line and hope they forget it later.
Hey, Sammy, what about the Greek god, this young wonder kid, Konstas? Everyone's talking about him. Now, you are a good judge of a cricketer. Has he got what it takes to be a test cricketer, do you feel?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And we're on the Sydney station here, right? We're all from Sydney.
Correct.
I'm down in
yes.
Melbourne, but
hang on. Whoa, Sammy. We do go up to Brisbane, but
and we've got a few of the track stations too.
You're
Nanango's listening.
You're a bit too high.
You got to be careful who you're talking to here. Okay. I'll tone it down a bit.
No,
get into him.
Get into him.
No, seriously, look, it's been a long time between drinks for New South Wales producing like a generational talent. I know half the team is from New South Wales, but they're getting on, if we're honest. They are long in the tooth, like a horse. And so I do think that a lot of New South Welsh people are very excited about Sam Konstas because we are desperate to produce the next great bat for Australia. But all of the great judges are saying that he makes the shapes and has the look of that kind of player. It's probably not helpful to a 19-year-old that those things are being said, but all the people who do know him and have been around him and have watched him, be a run glutton from a child all the way through to now, all say that he's in the same air as, Michael Clark and Philip Hughes and Steve Smith and all these guys that, ascended to the very top. What he's missing so far, Konstas, is the true papal blessing of Ricky Ponting. That's the last thing he needs.
Yeah.
He needs Punter to come out in the press, genuflect at the knee and say, I anoint this young Mediterranean god. But he doesn't quite have it yet. And I think they're going to pick McSweeney. But Konstas is 19, and I do think he's got a long career ahead of him in the international setup.
Because one of the great Mediterraneans going around, I believe he's Mediterranean, is Stoinis.
Yes, he is.
Would he?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he Greek? Is he of Greek descent as well?
Yes.
He is. He's a proud Greek man.
Okay, so we could, if we get a little bit of Greek action going on, we get Braithen Nasta to come in. Effie from Wogs Out of Work.
Yeah,
I reckon there's a real push for how did Greek go in the world of cricket? How the Greece
Oh, mate, you're naming Greek people. So I don't think there's like a long and illustrious history, and I actually think at the moment Cricket Australia has a more of a South Asian focus.
Okay, fair enough.
In terms of the future and the commerce of the game, but I actually quite like your thinking on this, Fletch, and maybe we could create an alternate community to help advocate and advance the interests of the Greek community when it comes to cricket.
Oh, mate, George Proponis, he's ready to roll. George Proponis, he can be the club doctor, definitely.
I've just been told in their last outing, Greece lost by 75 runs to the Czech Republic. So we'll call it a rebuilding phase, gentlemen.
That can happen. Yeah, it does nip around there in the Czech Republic.
Oh, doesn't it? What?
Yeah, and let's be honest, they roll up the decks that suit their conditions.
Yeah,
so,
got to get forward.
And if you actually won a test over there, good luck because you're not coming home. Semi, what about now the news? North Sydney Bears. Everyone was jumping around, rejoicing, and all of a sudden, St. Peter Valandy's not a saint anymore. No. The devil, he's just ripped it out underneath you. Ripped it out. What's your thoughts there?
Well, I tell you, right? I mean, every time the Bears story rolls around, the phone lights up. There's about 3 of us that the media knows support the Bears.
You, James Bracey. Who else? Who else is he?
Jim Jeffries. I'm not saying we're all at the same level, but I think he's actually got a stake in the Bears, Jim Jeffries. But
he does.
I do like when the latest kind of round of media reports from all of the guys who were getting tipped off by the NRL that the Bears were definitely back. Here's the Western Bears. Here's the bid. I have sources inside as well who were saying it's done. There's an NDA. I had all these podcasts come to me, and the podcasts you guys are associated with, Hello Sport Boys, who I love, Tom and Eddie.
Yes.
They were Manly guys. Pez, come on the show and let's talk about it. And I was like, boys, there's no way I'm coming on the show to talk about the Bears being back until I hear Peter V'landys announce that they're back. They will find a way to make sure this is difficult. And, so it has proved. I mean, I think the news is, or the line is that, unfortunately, some, the people who were involved in the Bears bid maybe the West Australian side of that bid mightn't have been agreeable to the NRL. And, there's got to be problems when the NRL thinks that the wrong people are involved. Anyway, we're just it's got to be quite dodgy. They're just my words, but yeah, look, the Bears are sitting there like an empty vessel waiting to attach themselves to somebody. We still hope that Peter V'landys can attach them to some Western Australia consortium. That's what we're told by him. He's really our one true hope. There's no way I'm sledging him at this stage.
No.
I hold up hope, but it's very difficult to imagine, I've got to say.
Would you accept, like, say, if the Perth thing doesn't work out, would you accept looking elsewhere? So maybe PNG Bears?
Yeah, I've said all along, like, if it's red and black, it's called the Bears, and they get a game. We had to give up even a game at North Sydney. We got to somewhere around Sydney. How can you make one man feel so desperate? But yeah, I mean, if it's called the Bears and it's red and black in perpetuity, and they get a game in Sydney, I'm there. We've been out of the comp for 25 years. I'm actually coming to quite enjoy the New South Wales Cup and the disappointments that happened there. But yeah, that'd be quite fun, really.
Now let's talk about, because I like watching your pod or listening to your podcast, but also the vision. You had that great clip from the local. It was a park game where the player gets run out and he just goes berserk. Two blokes get run out, actually. The bloke that just cleans up the stumps. How often are you going out to these games, or are you getting sent all this all these? Have you got a camera set up, like a big tripod?
No. I either go to each game. I just drive to 5 minutes of each game around Victoria and see what happens and just get it on my camera.
Jeez, you're lucky that you're there at the right time.
You froth on it.
Yeah.
I mean.
Is that all frog box vision that every cricket club seems to set up? Is that the greatest thing for your podcast? That when the top level cricket's a bit quiet, is that the greatest thing that's helped your podcast?
Yeah. Oh well, look, we tried to give it a crack to do this last year, but we just had too much to do. But the reason we've started this new show called Wasted Saturdays, and one of the reasons we did it is because our show's called The Grade Cricketer, and it's based on kind of chronicling the difficulties and the brutality and the harshness of the game of cricket. Like, we don't want to celebrate legends and like superstars like Pat Cummins all the time. That's not what cricket really is. Those guys don't even really understand what cricket is. They make millions of dollars a year. They've never even played grade cricket because they're genetic freaks. And we wanted to make sure that we're actually honouring the real cricket that actually happens. So we started up this show called Wasted Saturdays. We invite people to send in their clips of, ways we can celebrate the game in all of its glory. And we call it, sun damage, failed relationships and broken dreams. And so we are just inundated with clips from people going, have a look at what happens at 32 minutes here. And yeah, the one Fletch is referring to is a bloke just gets, he actually barbecues himself. He shouldn't, it was his fault that he got run out.
Correct.
It's sort of the third or fourth over of the game. And, he gets run out. He's running really slow. He runs very poorly. And he actually ends up running faster once he's run out because he basically sprints off the field. And you can actually hear really painfully the background the echo of him screaming. It's quite a blood-curdling scream of pain. And that is, it's actually all power to him, really. He probably has social and emotional issues like a lot of cricketers. But that's people's real experience of the game. It's not guys hitting sixes or IPL contracts. That's fake. What's real is this guy. So we want to honour that with Wasted Saturdays.
Is there anyone, Sam, you on your wish list you want to have on the podcast? Because I don't know if you have or you haven't, but I'm thinking like a Pavel Florin, the Romanian, just throwing up those hand grenades. Have you had him on?
We've had him on.
Oh, yes.
That's a great... That's a great shout because he was telling us stories about how he's a security guard and he actually uses his cricket bat at the door in Romania, which I'd imagine would be like a bizarre scene. But yeah, that's what he does. No, I mean, look, for all of those noble things I say about the real game, like if we had MS Dhoni or Kohli on, I'm buying property. So
definitely. The eyeball. Well, we noticed you did that with Uzi. We noticed that you quickly put that up.
Yeah, you got it. It really is. It's quite what's the word? It's shameless. You'll see it all through this summer. 100% sellout. I've sold out. I sell a product out to people, and you'll see that this summer with India being out here, and every media outlet will do it. There is an enormous audience over there. They love when we show respect to their players, and then when you do it, your social numbers and everything else in the algorithm just picks up. And everybody makes money. And that's why you'll see when India plays cricket and commentators are commentating, particularly over there in India, when India wins, everybody wins. And I mean economically as well. So there is that side of things. It's kind of a bit grim to see. But they love cricket, and it would be great to have MS Dhoni on.
It would be, but I would like could you get Dennis Lilly on? Would you
I'd love to have DK on. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
yeah, that would be awesome.
Surely he's within reach.
Definitely.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Some people you sort of like because that's sort of my dad's generation, and I know like the DK is the legend of legends. Like he's the king of kings.
Yeah, heavy pants man too back in the day. They reckon.
Really?
I'd imagine.
I'm going to throw out
plenty of Ks.
Yeah, maybe the body.
Really?
Boom.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
what I've
that's
heard.
News. That's a thought that's going to
heard.
linger. Mate, Sam Perry, thank you so much for coming on the run home. Mate, before we go, where can people send their clips? Because I'm sure many of our listeners have footage of themselves stuffing up at cricket.
Oh, yeah, look, there's no one place because if we were a good business, we would have one place. But if you just type in the grade cricketer anywhere on social media, send it to our DMs. You can email us hello@gradecricketer.com. Just get the clip, find us, send it, and we'll find it. There you go.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Sam Perry, thanks for joining us on the run home. Still plenty more to come up. We're going to be chatting to Cronulla Sharks' Tom Hazelton after the break and the Sugar Files for 2024.
Hello.
Keep your money in your pocket. This is the run home with Barney and Fletch with thanks to the Hyundai Tucson. Stylish and powerful.